Hey everybody, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil and it's time to talk The Mandalorian. And I'm really intrigued about this season. I think that's the best word for it right now because we went in a direction I really wasn't anticipating last episode when we spent time with Alaya, this ex-Imperial communications officer who's apparently gone through I forget the phrase, but she's gone through debriefing. Basically, she's been deprogrammed and reinserted into the New Republic Society on Coruscant, and she seems to be a good new citizen. And she's even turning in fellow ex-Imperials who are slipping and stealing from these massive dismantling yards and stuff. Of course, that was all a setup, but she's in the good graces of the New Republic, and yet she clearly still believes in the old Imperial ways. Now the question is, to what end? Is this just her form of personal sabotage? Is she acting on somebody's orders, or is she taking her own initiative? Does she know where Gideon is? We don't know exactly what happened to Gideon, but it sounds like he may have escaped before his tribunal. But it's nothing but rumor and conjecture by the average populace. So, we just don't know yet. But keep an eye out, because I don't think we should be surprised if Moff Gideon reappears this season. But yeah, what's clear is the New Republic may be too forgiving of these ex-Imperial officers. They're giving them second chances. The system is generous and caring and forgiving. And maybe that allows some of these ex-Imperials who still truly believe in the way of the Empire to regain some control and maybe foment some dissent from within. And maybe this is the birth of the First Order that we see in the sequel trilogy. It sure feels that way, doesn't it? And the interesting thing is this is all the B plot. The A plot was kind of on the back burner last episode, but the A plot is Mando and Bo-Katan, both bathed in the living waters under the planet of Mandalore, and they've returned to the covert where the Armorer and Paz Vizsla and the rest of this community of Mandalorians currently are, and they've been accepted back into the fold. They're following the creed. They've found a place. They found a home. And how long are we going to be part of this home? What's our new objective? It's very interesting. But where do we go from here? What's the threat, the imminent threat to that little covert community, the children of the Watch, other than the giant creature living in the lake right outside their cave? I feel like something else has to drive that story forward now. And is that Bo-Katan thinking about becoming the Mandalore? Could Paz Vizsla challenge for the Darksaber again? Or, who knows? I don't. But I really want to watch. So let's do that. Let's jump into episode 4 of season 3. Chapter 20. We'll find out the title when it rolls after the cold open.
Did you bathe in the waters?
I did.
And have you removed your
helmet
since?
No.
Welcome, Bo-Katan of Clan Kreese. You are one of us.
I'm so eager to know what Bo's thinking. She must be questioning so much about her faith, her beliefs, after seeing the mythosaur. Alright, we're just all training. Cool. Well, they're not short on ammo. Look at all of them. And look at Grogu. Meditating in the rock garden. Is he doing this? Oh, okay, yeah, no. Hey, it's lunch.
Put down the rocks, kid. It's time that you learn with the other foundlings.
Oh, we're going to start training him as a Mandalorian. I'm surprised we let him that close to the shore of the lake. They're all little hermit crabs.
Next challenger.
This should be interesting.
He is too small.
I am his ward. Proceed.
Darts.
Bring the
Darts?
training darts.
Why doesn't he wear a helmet?
He is too young to speak the creed, and so too young to wear a helmet.
Okay. How fun is this? I have no idea how he's gonna do this. Okay. It's gonna cover his like whole arm.
My dad was the same way. He's just proud of you. You take
Okay.
it easy on him, kid.
We just gave Grogu a weapon.
Each direct hit scores 1 point. A mark must be visible to score. 1 round, highest score wins.
Can we assume Grogu understood all of that?
Use your fist to launch the darts. You'll be fine.
Okay.
He doesn't know how to fire darts.
He's got this. Trust me.
Ready.
Oh,
Point!
they're paintball darts.
Don't look at me, look at him. It's okay. Show them.
Okay.
Ready.
All
Begin! 3 points. Winner!
There you go.
right. Oh, another dinosaur. Oh, did we just take the kid? They picked a really dangerous place to be camping. Awesome landscapes, though. Oh, out of fuel?
It always gets away.
It always. Is that Bo? That's Bo's ship, isn't it? Oh. Oh, look at that sunset haze. The Foundling. Are we just talking about Grogu, or are we talking about the kid that was just kidnapped?
I scouted where it lives and mapped the location. I'll fly to the foothills, scale the rest of the way on foot.
I'll join you.
Paz Vizsla, and join the Shriekhawk training team to accompany you.
All right. It's Mandalorian Special Forces.
All in good time. If you wish to become a Mandalorian, there is much work to attend to.
So Grogu gets a helmet when he can speak the creed, and he's been working at speaking for the first 3 episodes of this show. Like, he's getting close. Like, man, if he gets a helmet at the end of this season, it's gonna be so frickin' badass.
Just as we shape the Mandalorian steel,
What is she making?
we shape ourselves.
What are we making for Grogu? Oh my god, this is so cool. Is she, I mean,
We all begin as raw
is he
ore.
getting his mud horn?
The forge can reveal weaknesses.
Oh, look how worried he is. Did we just make him a chest plate? Oh. Oh, flashback, memories. Ah! It's Order 66. Oh my god. Are we supposed to recognize any of them?
Get the youngling into Kelleran! Go!
To Kelleran.
Everything's gonna be alright, kid.
We supposed to know him? Oh, okay. Let's do a wield. Who is this guy? Okay, it's a train tunnel. Yeah, what about that engine they hit?
We're gonna meet up with some friends of mine.
Who?
Keller and Beck?
They're right behind me.
What about the others?
There are no others.
Take the ship. It's fueled and ready to go. Come on.
Oh, man. And we're back. He's still got his Beskar chainmail on. I almost forgot about that.
Mandalorian steel shall keep you safe as you grow stronger.
It's his mudhorn.
You will grow into this rondel as you grow into your station. Foundling Grogu.
Awesome. Look how big it is. Oh, this is so badass. I feel like at least some of this is actually out on location, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it's all fricking digital CGI.
How do you eat when other people are around?
You don't. When you get your food, you go off to find a place where you can take off your helmet.
You are the leader of the war party. You have the honor of staying by the fire. This is the way.
Cool. Wow. She's being shown a ton of respect, but she's learning.
Now our hope is that the child is still alive, so we have to make sure not to fire on the raptor.
It will kill the foundling if attacked.
Our best bet is stealth.
Jeez. Paz has such a freaking extra load to carry on this climb. Awesome. Oh, the nest. Oh. Helmet. Not here. Oh.
I see a heat source there.
Wait until we clear the area.
He's my son.
Oh. We didn't know that. We didn't know he's a Vizsla.
Ragnar!
Right? Oh! Jeez! Infant raptors. Uh-oh. Oh. We're coughing him up. He's still alive. Ah! Jeez.
Take my hand!
Oh. 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 She lost her pauldron. Those are pauldrons, right? I feel like Mandalorian, just like that the producers are just like, everyone else is doing dragons, we can show them we can do them just as well. Oh, kid doesn't have a jetpack. Nice catch. Oh. That was a really good hit. Oh! It makes a reappearance. Oh, man. I should have known he was a Vizsla, matching helmet colors.
This is the way.
This is the way.
You have done the highest honor of the creed, saving a foundling.
This is the way. And we have brought you 3 more foundlings in need of care and training.
Oh, we brought the raptor babies. Dear God. We can ride them.
You're in need of a repair. Shall I inlay the signet of the Night Owl?
No. Mythosaur.
Would it be acceptable with the mythosaur?
The mythosaur belongs to all Mandalorians.
Oh, I could watch the Armorer make armor all episode. I don't know why it's so cool, but love it.
What would you say if I told you I saw one?
Oh.
I would say you are very lucky.
Oh, okay.
It is a noble vision.
Not a vision.
I mean a real one.
When you choose to walk the way of the Mandalore, you will see many things.
Looks good, Bo.
But it was real.
This is the way.
Oh, okay. Cryptic answers. Carl Weathers. Awesome, man. Love that art. It was a short one, but man, was it a fun one. We went back to Coruscant, but not to see what's going on with the New Republic, but to see Grogu's flashback during Order 66 and his escape from the Jedi Temple. I didn't recognize any of the Jedi that protected him and helped to get him off planet. And I don't think we were supposed to recognize any of the ones in the temple proper, but the one guy that came and got him off on the speeder bike and then transferred him to the ship at the end there. Are we supposed to know who he is? I don't know who he is. If any of you do, let me know in the comments for sure. But he was unfamiliar to me. But that's how Grogu got out, through the bravery of a bunch of other Jedi. And, man, it scarred him. You know, this was more than 20 years ago, half his life ago. And he's still really scarred by it. You know, it's weird. Grogu's such an interesting character to get into the head of, because on one hand, he's 50 years old. He's as old as I am. He's seen some shit. He's been through a lot. And yet, he's still not a baby per se, but definitely a young toddler. Like, he doesn't even speak yet. On the other hand, he's spent a lot of time training as a Jedi. If Jon Favreau's to be believed, he spent 2 years training with Luke during Book of Boba Fett, although I know there's some confusion and different interpretations of what Favreau said. But my point, he's trained. And now he's training as a Mandalorian. He's learning to fight. There hasn't been a Mandalorian Jedi since the Old Republic. Since, is it pre-Vizsla? It's one of the Vizslas. Someone in the Vizsla clan. And that's the birth, that's the source of the Darksaber. So it's not a common occurrence for a Mandalorian to also be a Jedi. And yet Grogu may end up being one. And he's sort of going the reverse path. You know, raised as a Jedi youngling, and now being raised by a Mandalorian as a foundling. He's starting to accumulate his armor. He's got his mithril vest. Now he's got his Beskar. What did she call it? It's not a chess piece, but he's using it as a chess piece. But anyway, that disc with the Mudhorn on it. He's part of Din's clan. They remain a clan of two. But yeah, it's so cool. I could watch and listen to the Armorer so much during this show. She's such a great source of lore, and obviously it's a certain perspective, but it's a really interesting perspective. And what I anticipated at the start of this season was this would be Din's journey away from the Children of the Watch to a more moderate version of what it means to be Mandalorian. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is the opposite. And Mando is Bo-Katan's in to get into the Children of the Watch, and she may be finding a home and finding new faith in the creed, the stuff that she sort of discounted as religion for politics' sake when she was younger, just theater for the masses and all of the rest of it. Now she's seeing real meaning in it. Obviously, her vision of the mythosaur, which you have to assume is still real, even though the conversation with the armorer at the end is really interesting, because it's like the armorer isn't discounting the fact that Bo-Katan saw the mythosaur, but she explains it by saying when you follow the way, when you follow the creed, this is the way, this is what happens. So maybe it was a vision after all, but I don't think so. That mythosaur was real. I refuse to believe anything else. But the armorer's not coming out and going, "Oh, you're a liar," or anything like that. It's just sort of, she accepts it on faith. Whether it was a true vision or real is almost irrelevant. The fact is Bo-Katan saw a mythosaur in the living waters, and the gift of that, at least if you're the armorer, is that Bo is now part of the fold. She's entering the Children of the Watch. She just did the greatest service one can within the creed, namely saving a foundling. She led that war party. She's in a lot of ways, Bo-Katan is our way into learning more about Mandalorian culture, because Bo's been so separate from it for so long. She's learning all the lessons that we're learning. How do you eat when you're in a war party? Well, you all go find your own private spot, and the leader of the war party has the honor of staying by the fire. How freaking cool is that? How cool is it that these Mandalorians, who just a few short days ago were calling Bo and Din apostates, they were outcasts. They weren't worthy of being part of the creed. They needed to be redeemed. The moment they are redeemed, they're welcomed back in. They're shown respect and honor. They're leading the war parties, and it's not begrudgingly. It feels open. It feels welcoming. It feels like a strong community. It's just fascinating, because so many of the Mandalorians that we've known over the years, it's rare where we've spent a lot of time with a big group of Mandalorians at once. They've often been solitary individuals, or we see all of Mandalore at once, being ruled by Satine, for instance. But that culture feels so different from the culture we're being exposed to in this show. It's really fascinating. I love what they're doing to flesh out this more, I used to call it extreme form of Mandalorian creed, of the Mandalorian religion, but and perhaps it is, but extreme has such negative connotations, and I'm losing those negative inferences from this version of what it means to be Mandalorian. This version just feels more in touch with the history of Mandalore, that deep-seated cultural foundation that perhaps was missing from the Mandalore that we saw a lot of during the Clone Wars, for instance. I'm having a lot of fun learning so much more about what it means to be Mandalorian, and seeing Bo-Katan and Din learn what it means as well as we go. And now we're learning through Grogu as well, as he earns his pieces of armor, as he starts training in combat. I don't think it's any accident that we started hinting that Grogu is learning to speak. He's mimicking Din when Din says, this is the way, that sort of thing. He's doing more than the babble that he was doing in seasons 1 and 2. He isn't yet saying real sentences, but real words, but it feels like it's close, and it feels like, what are his first words going to be? Are they going to be, "This is the way"? Is it going to be the start of the Mandalorian creed? Is he waiting until he knows how to say it all before he says anything? Some kids don't start talking until they can express themselves well. Maybe Grogu's like that. But if this season ends with Grogu taking reciting the Mandalorian Creed and getting a helmet, how freaking insane would that be? Yeah, man. I don't want to wish it because it feels like such a pipe dream of a wish, but man, after watching this episode, it's hard not to think that we might be going there. Yeah. The raptor, like the plot of this episode in many ways is almost irrelevant. The raptor grabbing what turns out to be Paz Vizsla's son, Ragnar. That's it's fun. It's a fun villain. One of the things that we have on this show, one of these things that we've had on the Mandalorian since season 1 are these fantastic new big creatures that we've never seen before. Whether it's the Mudhorn or the giant turtle crocodile that we had in episode 1 this season, the crate dragon from the start of season 2, etc., etc. Why not introduce a raptor that is essentially a Star Wars dragon? Except it acts more like an eagle. And it's feeding its young. It coughs up the kid. So the kid spent some time in Mama's belly, but he's fine. He's barely wet. But we'll let that slide because it's an excuse for Bo to prove her worth, to lead this war party, to have some climbing scenes for a change, and then a fun aerial battle. Well, it's a bunch of Mandalorians trying to take down this giant dragon in the sky, and rescuing Paz from its mouth, rescuing Ragnar from its claws. This is the way. This is the way. Just a really fun episode. I can't wait for the next one. Next one's going to be Boss. Oh, and they gave Carl Weathers the chance to direct. How awesome is that? I love it. This show, it just puts a smile on my face. But I love how much it grabs me and intrigues me. And the best thing about the Star Wars universe is how big it is. It's the size of a freaking galaxy. It's so rich, and we can world build so much. What we've seen so far, both in the physical geography of the galaxy and in the time span of the galaxy, is so minuscule. There's so much more to build on, and I love learning more, seeing more, discovering more with new episodes of TV, with new movies, with the books that I'm starting to get into. I don't even want to go down the rabbit hole of getting into the games, but that may happen at some point in the future. But it all just does so much to just make it feel more and more real. And yeah, man, the fact that I'm talking about an episode that has a bunch of armored humans in jetpacks fighting a dragon in the sky, and I'm not saying that's ridiculous, goes so far in telling what a good job all the creators of Star Wars over the years have done in building this world. Yeah, it's just so much fun, man. Thank you guys so much for spending a little time with me here today on Neil Talks. These episodes are always a blast. Can't wait for next week. Thanks for doing all the fun algorithm things. Leave your comments. Let me know what I missed, if there were like Easter eggs and all of that sort of stuff. I don't pretend to know everything, but I'm trying to learn. So it's all so much appreciated. But until next week, everybody, take care, stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Cheers.